All Renegades of Puck to the trenches. It's time for Renegades of Puck TV. Welcome to the bunker. Welcome to the essence of no half-steppin'. I'm your host and captain, Crazy Charlie Saunier, and once again, let me remind you, now that we are getting into the month of February, about the home base freakout. It will take place on Friday, February the 25th, the night before the Stadium Series at Tailgate Brewery right there on Demundbrian. It's a can't-miss event that will be talked about for so many years to come. We are so excited to have each and every one of you. This is open to everyone. All ages are welcome. There will be no cover charge. All you have to do is show an ID there at the front to security, and you'll be on your way in. Once you're inside, it's going to be one of the greatest gatherings of the hockey community the night before the Stadium Series. Tailgate Brewery is rolling out the red carpet for the Renegades of Puck. We have so many more details to announce to you coming up over the next few weeks. But for now, let me just tell you about some of the amazing special guests that we will be having on hand at Tailgate Brewery. Of course, the world-class maniac, violent by design, Eric Young, is going to be there. My partner, my co-host, and my good friend. I can't wait to see him at the home base freakout. We are also going to be having former Nashville Predators captain Mike Fisher. Also, former Nashville Predator and former Nashville Predators broadcaster Stu Grimson, and a new addition to the guest list that I am now able to announce publicly for the first time. Bobby Ryan will also be in attendance at the home base freakout. That's right, Anaheim Ducks, Ottawa Senators, Detroit Red Wings, and one incredible hockey story. Bobby Ryan will be joining us at the home base freakout. We will also be joined by such other great people. Haley Murphy from Couch Guy Sports, Allie Lacombe will be there, Dan Bradley will be there, Teresa Walker, Hall of Fame sports writer, will be there, and so many more. Will you be joining us at the home base freakout on February the 25th? We sure hope so. So we're throwing a tailgate for the ages. Again, it's an event that will be talked about for years to come. Everyone is welcome. It is a night to put all differences aside. We're building bridges from the trenches to the future. So join us at the home base freakout. We'd also really appreciate if you check out renegadesofpuck.com. When you're at renegadesofpuck.com, you can click on that merchandise link, and right there you can already pick up merchandise for the home base freakout event. We sure would appreciate if you would check out those t-shirts, or if you would prefer, you can get the classic logo t-shirts that you can find right here on the wall behind me, or you can find our Pride logo t-shirts. We are very proud of the store that we have created, and we have put our names on just about everything. We like to say around here that we've sold out so that you can buy in. Renegades of Puck also have socks, throw pillows, bed sets, wall art, and just about any gimmick that you can imagine. Again, it's an easy tagline. We've sold out so that you can buy in. We'd also appreciate if you go to social media and help us out. That doesn't cost you a penny, and it sure goes a long way in investing in the Renegades of Puck here at the bunker. Please go to YouTube and give us a subscription. That would be great. We're well over 100 already, and in just a couple of months, we've built a great subscriber base. Always looking to add one more. One by one, Renegades, we will bring them to the trenches. Once we have that show posted on YouTube, we'd love it if you'd share that link on Facebook. Facebook is an easy way to send the links around and let other people know. You can also find our home base freakout event right there on our Facebook page. Let us know that you're coming. Confirm that you're going to be in attendance. We're also very easy to find and very active on Twitter at Renegades of Puck, so go ahead and give us a follow there and start a conversation with any of the Renegades of Puck. You can also find us on Instagram. You can find an audio-only version of the show on SoundCloud, and you can check out our behind-the-scenes Twitch stream, which features the information long before you get it in the fully produced YouTube version. Also, any second takes and some bonus content that sometimes can be quite therapeutic for me, the captain, and quite hilarious for you, the audience. You've missed some pretty amazing incidents and some pretty big F-bombs right there on our Twitch channel. Please become a partner of the Renegades of Puck. We are an independent hockey organization and an independent hockey state. Venmo is how we do our business, and you can become a partner of the Renegades of Puck by scanning the QR code that's on your screen right now, or just searching Renegades of Puck on Venmo. Any donation goes directly to the Renegades of Puck and goes directly to making upgrades here at the bunker and for the show overall. We've recently pulled off one of the best promotional stunts in all of media, and we have plenty more ambitions and ideas. We can only pull that off with your assistance. Thank you so much for the partnership you've already shown us. Stick taps, love, and respect to each and every one of you. Now, you've come here for the No Half Step in hockey coverage, so let me deliver you the goods. The Nashville Predators currently sit in second place in the Central Division after 45 games played. They have a record of 27-14-4. That is good for 58 points. They are 5 points currently behind the first place Colorado Avalanche, but they have played 4 fewer games than the Colorado Avalanche. The Nashville Predators, sitting in second place, have a 1-point advantage over third place St. Louis, a 5-point advantage over the Minnesota Wild, 12 points ahead of the Dallas Stars, 17 ahead of the Winnipeg Jets, 19 ahead of Chicago, and 34 points ahead of those lowly Arizona Coyotes. On home ice, the Nashville Predators are 13-7-0 on the season, and that's where their next game will take place against the Vancouver Canucks. No, this is not a repeat. The Nashville Predators did just face off against the Vancouver Canucks at Bridgestone Arena very recently. As a matter of fact, that was back on just the 18th of January. Preds fell to the Vancouver Canucks 3-1. Unfortunately, Philip Tomasino gets his second goal of the season against the Vancouver Canucks, but this time it is not in a victory. Riddick took the loss in this one, 21 out of 24, and Thatcher Demko had an incredible game, 31 out of 32, picking up the win at Bridgestone Arena. These two teams did play a previous time back in November on the 5th, and that took place in Vancouver. The Nashville Predators secured a 3-2 victory on Philip Tomasino's game-winning goal with 45 seconds left. UC Saros picked up the victory in that game, 26 out of 28, and Roman Josi and Matt Duchene also chipped in with other goals for the Nashville Predators. This will be the third and final game of the regular season series between the Nashville Predators and the Vancouver Canucks, and considering the Vancouver Canucks find themselves in 7th place in the Pacific Division with only 43 points at this time of the season, a record of 19-19-5, I highly doubt that the Nashville Predators would be running into the Vancouver Canucks in the NHL postseason. The Canucks do have a respectable road record of 11-11-2. Their goal differential is -10. In their most recent action, 5 games ago, was beating the Nashville Predators, actually, on the 18th. It was a 3-1 victory in Nashville. They followed that up by losing 2-1 in a shootout versus the Florida Panthers on the 23rd. It was a 3-1 loss versus St. Louis, then a 3-2 overtime loss versus Edmonton. Their most recent game was a 5-1 victory at Winnipeg. Now here is where the scheduling caveat is definitely going to be a factor against the Vancouver Canucks. The Vancouver Canucks will have to play 2 more games before the Nashville Predators face off against the Vancouver Canucks on Tuesday. Saturday, they will be in Calgary, and Monday, they will be at Chicago. So after finishing off their game in Chicago, they will immediately travel here to Nashville to face off against the Predators. So for the Preds, they have an opportunity after playing the most games in the Central Division up to this point to sit back for a couple of days while other teams around the Central and around the Western Conference make up some of those games in hand. Remember, we were supposed to be getting to the Olympic break right now, and what it has become is the makeup games on the schedule that had to be postponed because of COVID. That's where we are right now. Once the Nashville Predators finish this game against the Vancouver Canucks, then they will be off until February the 9th. So again, an opportunity to get some more rest on the 9th. They will be in Dallas to take on the Stars. Then the 12th, they'll face off against the Winnipeg Jets at Bridgestone Arena. The Capitals will be at Bridgestone Arena on the 15th of February. The 18th, we'll see the Nashville Predators go into Carolina to take on the Hurricanes. And the 22nd of February, they will be at Florida. And that gets us very close to Pekka Rinne retirement night and also the home base freakout. Then the Stadium Series at Nissan Stadium. February is shaping up to be a very fun and very busy month when it looked like it wasn't going to have a whole lot going on the schedule. The Nashville Predators could use the rest because the system that they play requires a lot of energy, and at this point in the season, you know that some of these players have to be getting a little bit tired. UC Saros, I think, especially could use a little bit of the rest. Taking a look inside the numbers between these two teams, for the Nashville Predators, goals for at 3.09 is 14th best overall in the NHL, and their goals against is 2.69. That is 9th. You won't be highly impressed with too many of the metrics for the Vancouver Canucks. 2.49 goals per game is 27th in the NHL. Goals against at 2.72 is 10th. They're generating 32.7 shots on goal. That is 13th. Their shots against is 18th. The Nashville Predators shots for is 23rd in the league, and their shots against is 16th. Giving up 31.6 shots per game. You know that UC Saros has faced an incredible amount of work in the last month or so. For the Nashville Predators, still the 8th best power play in the NHL. They've scored 34 times on 136 opportunities, or 25%. The power play for the Vancouver Canucks is at 15th in the NHL. They've converted 28 times on 139 opportunities. Now, the penalty kill, I always give you the percentage and the ranking, but for the Nashville Predators, you must realize they have been shorthanded 155 times on the season. They have given up 28 power play goals against, but still have the 11th best penalty kill overall in the NHL at 81.9%. I cannot say anything good about the Vancouver Canucks penalty kill. It is 32nd overall in the NHL, which is dead last, 68.6%. They have given up 39 power play goals against. When it comes to the individuals and the statistics on these two teams, JT Miller leads the Vancouver Canucks in scoring, 15 goals and 29 assists for 44 points. Quinn Hughes at 2 goals and 31 assists is 33 points. Pedersen at 11 and 13 for 24. Garland 10 and 14 for 24. And Bo Horvat, 13 goals and 10 assists for 23 points. Thatcher Demko, we saw very recently, had a very strong game against the Nashville Predators. 17-14-1 on the season, a .917 save percentage, 2.62 goals against average. Thatcher Demko is actually putting up a considerably good season compared to the rest of the Vancouver Canucks and their overall franchise record. Thatcher Demko is actually having quite a decent year. For the Nashville Predators, looking at their individual statistics, led and paced almost all season now by the captain, Roman Josi. 13 goals, 30 assists for 43 points. Matt Duchene at 21 goals now, 19 assists for 40 points. Granlund's at 6 goals and 31 assists for 37 points. Forsberg at 22 goals and 14 assists for 36 points. And Johansson 12 and 21 for 33. It has been remarkably consistent, the top 5 in scoring on this Nashville Predators team the entire season. The big names with the big contracts that have the big expectations are all performing up to the level that you had hoped they would for the previous couple of seasons. It's all coming together right now, and you see how good the Nashville Predators can be when the big names step up and play as good as they have so far this season. UC Saros is at 23, 11, and 3, and 927 save percentage and a 2.36 goals against average. An incredible workload as of late, but UC Saros has absolutely been up to the challenge, and at his age and with the amount of rest coming up, I do not think it's a problem. The coaching staff does not seem to indicate that it is a problem, but we certainly would like to see UC Saros facing less shots in games. That would give the Nashville Predators better opportunities to come away with more victories. It's now time for the Rebirth Sports full game recap. Rebirth Sports, please check them out at rebirthsports.com or go to social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Rebirth Sports, they take visions and make them reality, and they are simply the most incredible partners and incredible people that I've ever had the opportunity to work with. I am so proud of the partnership that we have with Rebirth Sports. You know about Rebirth Sports. You see the jersey here that I wear while anchoring the bunker each and every episode of Renegades of Puck TV. Well, it's not just while I'm anchoring Renegades of Puck TV. It's also while I'm out there skating in league play all those years that I was winning championships and playing for the Mighty Drunks. It's also while I'm playing in tournaments, while I'm on Lake Nokomis at the United States Pond Hockey Championships, representing everywhere. The best jerseys on the ice are always Rebirth Sports. We get asked about them everywhere we go. Rebirth Sports delivers the goods each and every time. Their customer service, their quality, everything you want and you expect out of a business, they have it, and they are simply the best at it. I am so proud. Again, I can't say it enough to be in partnership with Rebirth Sports, and we're going to have something incredibly important coming up to announce from Rebirth Sports coming up on the next episode of Renegades of Puck TV. It's going to take place for the entire month of February. It's going to be the first opportunity you guys will ever have to own your own Renegades of Puck jersey. We'll leave it at that for right now. RebirthSports.com. We're super excited about what's coming up for the month of February and beyond. We've got some great plans with Rebirth Sports. Check them out, RebirthSports.com. Let's go all the way back to January the 27th of the year 2022 when the Nashville Predators were in Edmonton taking on the Oilers. John Hines deployed his lines as following: Cousins, Johansson, and Cunnin, Forsberg, Granlund, and Duchene. Trennan, Sissons, and Janot, Luff, McCarron, and Tomasino. Your defensive pairings are Josi and Carey, Ekholm and Benning, Borowiecki, and Tennyson. UC Saros gets the start in net. We are just 52 seconds into the first period, and PRV is off to the box 2 minutes for tripping. This power play is simply dreadful. The Oilers controlled the entirety of the play for the 2 minutes, and the Nashville Predators were able to generate exactly 0 shots on goal at 4:55 of the first period. Koskinen save on Duchene off with Rushton at 5:12. Forsberg's got his 22nd goal of the season, giving the Nashville Predators a 1-0 lead. It was a wrist shot from the top of the circle with Carrier setting the screen. It was also his 200th career goal as a Nashville Predator. Preds lead this game 1-0. 5:53 of the first period. Nurse is off to the box. 2 minutes for slashing. 0 shots on goal for the Nashville Predators yet again in this full 2 minutes of power play. As a matter of fact, they would also have an icing call against them on this power play. 8:43 of the first period. UC Saros comes up with a save on Ceci on the 2-on-1 rush. 12 minutes into the period, Saros comes up with a save on Nugent Hopkins. Then we'd see Ekholm go off to the box at 12:32 of the first period. It looked like a bit of a makeup call as Matthias Ekholm seemed to play virtually perfect defense on this play, but the referees didn't see it that way. UC Saros come up with a huge save right here, plus Borowiecki would make the clear off of the rebound from the crease. Saros would also come up with a save on McDavid through some steep traffic. At 18:29 off the first period, Cunnin doorstep jam. First sign of life by the offense since Philip Forsberg scored the goal earlier in the period. 19:31 of the first period, McDavid's got his 21st goal of the season. It was a strong rush from his own blue line all the way down through the neutral zone, and you've seen it so many times on so many highlight reels. Benning gave a solid effort trying to win the one-on-one battle, but he was unable. Now, Philip Forsberg could have helped out a little bit more in the neutral zone, could have maybe slowed him down, could have maybe pushed him a little bit more to the outside, making Benning's job just a little bit easier, but Philip Forsberg did not. Benning was unable, and UC Saros simply could not stop. It's Connor McDavid. It's his 21st goal of the season, and I hate goals against in the last minute of a period. It ties the game at 1 apiece. Nashville Predators and Edmonton Oilers head to the intermission, with Edmonton out shooting Nashville 13-8. We go 28 seconds into the second period, and Bouchard's off to the box. 2 minutes for puck over the glass. Trennan hard on the forecheck, forcing the defenseman to make the bad play. The Nashville Predators would yet again generate 0 shots on goal over the full 2 minutes of the power play. So now they have 6 minutes of power play in just over 22 minutes of gameplay without getting a single shot on goal. When you start to think about what happens later on in this game, maybe the Nashville Predators could have done a little bit better on these power plays to make something happen. 5:22, Duchene shot blocked by the D while Koskinen is out of position. It looked like this one was going to go to the back of the net. You got to call this one a lucky break for the Edmonton Oilers. 5:45, UC Saros comes with a save on Draisaitl off of the rush. 6:29, Saros comes with a save on Fogle, but Johansson is off the box. 2 minutes for slashing. UC Saros would have to come up with a save on Keith as the power play expires. You got to give stick taps to Granlund and Jeannot for the strong work they were doing out there on the penalty kill. 8:32 of the second period, Matt Duchene's got his 21st goal of the season. It was a wrist shot off of the post. After the long pass by, Forsberg springs the play and gets it going. Matt Duchene's 21st goal of the season gives the Nashville Predators a 2-1 lead. But after that goal by the Nashville Predators, Edmonton just simply escalates and finds another gear. Everything is being contested, and the Nashville Predators are frankly having difficulties just keeping the Edmonton Oilers at bay. 13:39 of the second period, UC Saros comes up with a save on Cassian. Koskinen then comes up with a save on Jeannot just after that. But 14:50, Bouchard's got his 9th goal of the season, tying the game up at 2 apiece between the Predators and the Edmonton Oilers. It was a point shot off of a stick, then a skate of Johansson on the way in. End-to-end chaos for the next several minutes as both teams would generate good scoring chances with the game tied at 2 apiece. We head into the third period. 1:57 of the third period, UC Saros comes up with a save on Hyman. You're going to hear something very familiar the rest of this period. 4:55 of the third, Saros comes with a save on McDavid, plus the follow-up by Yamamoto. 7:14, Saros save on Draisaitl. 10:03, Saros save on Nurse. The 40th shot on goal for the Edmonton Oilers. 14:57, Koskinen does stop Jeannot, and his jam opportunity times 2. 17:23, Koskinen again has to come up with a save on Johansson's good scoring opportunity, but the saves would continue for UC Saros, and 19:50 would be a pivotal one when he stops Draisaitl for one last time in regulation. We go to overtime with Edmonton out shooting Nashville 43-26. In the overtime period, it would be frantic. 36 seconds into the period, Koskinen comes up with a save on Matt Duchene. 55 seconds, Saros comes up with a save on McDavid. 1:13, Draisaitl hits the post. 3:31, Koskinen comes up with a save on Josi. Thought the game was over on this one. 4:58, the Nashville Predators get called for too many men on the ice, but that really doesn't make any difference in the game. Edmonton outshoots the Nashville Predators in the overtime and regulation, a combined 46-30. So UC Saros, again, coming up with 44 saves on 46 shots against in Edmonton. When we go to the shootout, it would be Connor McDavid scoring the only goal in the shootout, and it would be one hell of a dynamic move that I'm sure has been shown across the landscape of hockey now, and even on casual sports shows that don't typically watch hockey. Yes, it was a highly impressive move by one of the best players in the NHL, if not the best overall player in the NHL. Going on the rush, making a move, and scoring a goal is kind of Connor McDavid's specialty. We saw him do it during regular gameplay, where he had to take on a forward and a defender and still beat the goaltender. So on a shootout, it is no surprise. He is an otherworldly player, an otherworldly goal scorer, and given the opportunity, even a Vezina candidate for this season in UC Saros can be made to look just a little bit silly. But I do not like what this game is going to be remembered for, and I frankly do not like the way the highlights packages are shaping up. When I look and I see UC Saros with 44 out of 46 in this game, and the number of incredible saves that he made from start to finish in this game, and the amount of pressure he was under during the third period, during overtime, and the fact that the Nashville Predators were able to get a point in this game, frankly, I don't think it should be remembered as UC Saros getting absolutely posterized by Connor McDavid, but this game should be remembered when UC Saros is at the awards presentation and ceremony. When they show his Vezina finalist awards reel, they should go ahead and show several saves from this game. This game should be remembered as UC Saros getting a point for the Nashville Predators against the Edmonton Oilers. He was dynamic in net, and he held the Nashville Predators in this game just again. He just does it over and over and over again, and it shouldn't just be remembered for the McDavid shootout move. It should be remembered for the hard work that he did throughout the entirety of the game to get that point. Watch it come down to 1 point separating the Nashville Predators from something very special here at the end of the season, and we'll remember this period, this point, and we won't remember the Connor McDavid posterizing shootout move. It happens to the best of them at that level when it comes to Connor McDavid. You know who I want to hear from about that entire situation? I want to hear from the starting goaltender of the Renegades of Puck. You can find him on Twitter at GreekGoalie35. You can watch him right here on Renegades of Puck TV. He's been my backstop for so many years that I can't even remember when he actually first started with the show. He is, of course, the one and only Mastradamus.
Thank you very much, Charlie. The Nashville Predators continue to struggle against the Edmonton Oilers. This is 5 games in a row now that the Oilers have come out on the winning end of things against Nashville, this time in a shootout 3-2. UC Saros once again stealing points for the Nashville Predators, 44 out of 46 during the 65-minute game, and then, of course, 2 out of 3 in the shootout. Nothing you can do about the Connor McDavid goal in the shootout. It's Connor McDavid, and when he puts a move like that on you, it doesn't matter who you are, whether you're Saros, whether you're Patrick Waugh, Martin Brodeur, name anybody, that puck is probably going in. He's a special talent. Generational talent is Connor McDavid. So, again, come out on losing end, but they do earn a point in a game that they never trailed, but it seemed like they were chasing most of the time during this game. Again, despite the fact they weren't behind, they didn't allow Edmonton to get a power play goal in their 3 opportunities. So they did a pretty good job in that regard. But, again, not enough goal scoring to get the victory in this one. Again, Saros 44 out of 46. Tremendous work by him. Again, even in the shootout, doing what he does best. And honestly, he got, again, the Connor McDavid goal. It reminds me a lot of early on in his career where he would face 3, sometimes even 4 or 5 shots in a shootout, and he could not get any help. This one, full credit to Mikko Koskinen. I mean, he is 3-0-1 now against the Preds in his career. The 2 saves he made on the first 2 shots in the shootout were fantastic. The save on Forsberg. Forsberg went backhand on him. He even lifted it up, but he was able to get his blocker on it. Again, that's what you get when you're 6'7". You have a lot of range. He was able to get the blocker on that one. And then the save on Matt Duchene. Duchene has him down and out. And Duchene, of course, you would like him to lift it up a little bit more than what he did. But again, on his stomach, Koskinen lifts up his pad and gets enough of the puck to keep it out of the net. And of course, OSU unable to capitalize to extend the shootout. So full credit to Koskinen. He was a solid performance by him to keep his team in it when they were down, and kept the Preds off the scoreboard on the power play as well. The troubling trend, though, continues for the Preds. Since the Christmas break, UC Saros has started 13 games. In 10 of those games, they've surrendered at least 35 shots on goal. Way too many shots on goal for the Preds. Surprisingly enough, though, Saros is 8-3-2 in those starts. So that just shows you how much he's out there and able to cover up for a lot of mistakes in the defensive zone. I've seen way too many turnovers here lately in their own zone, a little bit too careless with the puck, a little bit too cute out of their own zone, turning it over at the blue line and leading to opportunities in their own end. That's got to stop. I think that's one of the main priorities when the Preds do get back home to face Vancouver next week. Vancouver, of course, they were just in Nashville less than 2 weeks ago, came out with a 3-1 victory, in large part to Thatcher Demko. He was marvelous in this game against Nashville, 31 out of 32. Many crucial saves, many in-close saves in high-danger areas against Nashville to preserve the victory for Vancouver. He has been in COVID protocol here as of late. Vancouver's been going with Mike DiPietro and Spencer Martin here as of late. Spencer Martin's been fantastic, just a diamond in the rough. I mean, he's only had one career start before this year, and he's been great for them here in some spot starts. So Demko will be out of COVID protocol, though, by then. It's going to be the last of a 4-game road trip for Vancouver when they come to Nashville finally on Tuesday. They played Thursday night just like Nashville did, but they have 2 more games, Saturday and then Monday night at Chicago before they come to Nashville Tuesday. So the second of a back-to-back. It's anybody's guess who the coaching staff, Bruce Boudreau, does in net, but you'd be willing that Demko will probably start. He did it last time, 2 weeks ago, against Nashville. He started him in back-to-back games against Carolina and Florida, and that's some mighty stiff competition to throw him out there 2 games in a row. So in all likelihood, based on that performance last time, it'll be Demko versus UC Saros because it's the Preds' last game before the All-Star break. So absolutely, Saros will get some rest before he goes out to Vegas to represent the Predators at the All-Star game. Charlie, back to you.
Thanks so much, Mosh. Appreciate you jumping in the trenches here on Renegades of Puck TV. You can find him on Twitter at GreekGoalie35. Strong Style Fitness. You can find Strong Style Fitness on Twitter as well. Very easy, at Strong Style Fit. Also Facebook, Instagram, StrongStyleFit.com. 150 workouts by a certified personal trainer, all there laid out for you on YouTube, completely free and ready to go. If you need a stretch to get you up off the couch for the first time in a long time, or you're ready to throw some iron like a pro, Tracy's got it all covered there at Strong Style Fitness. She has thought all of these workouts through, and they are there and ready and prepared for you on demand. All of the instructions, all the equipment you'll need, she explains it all right there at the beginning of the video. It's incredibly helpful. Healthy Renegades, happy Renegades, fit Renegades. It's all the same thing. I love it. I appreciate her and how much work she does to help us out here in the trenches. Again, give some stick taps, love and respect to Strong Style Fitness. She'll have some new workouts posting coming up here very soon once things start to warm up a little bit in the studio. Now let's talk about Sean C. Smith. He's coming up next. He's got some thoughts, and I want to talk about the John Hynes style. John Hynes style now getting an opportunity to get some rest, to things that I think are going to be positives going forward. This team was starting to look a little bit tired after the Colorado Avalanche game. I think that's why they dropped a couple of games to some, frankly, subpar competition. So for the Nashville Predators now to continue playing this up-pace, up-tempo, hard forechecking, never-stopping physical style, John Hynes has gotten the message across to his players how they need to play, and we see it in results on a regular basis, and we hear it in the interviews on a regular basis. So they need the energy, they need the rest, and they're going to get that opportunity right now. Sean C. Smith is going to talk about that and a whole lot of things. Whatever falls out of Sean C. Smith's brain, that's what he's going to talk about, I guess. So from ontheforecheck.com, find him on Twitter at SCSOTF. He is a superstar in the trenches. Sean C. Smith, take it away.
Thanks, Charlie. What's up, Renegades? I tell you what, you get a couple of games out of the way where you got to stay up late. You get a decent night's sleep after that, and you feel a lot better. Feels a lot better talking about an overtime loss after you've gotten a good amount of rest. But I'm going to tell you what. Here's the thing. You want some positives to take away from that overtime loss to the Edmonton Oilers? Here's what I can tell you. Number one, the Predators in recent years have had a hard time dealing with the speed that the Oilers bring to the table. I'm talking about whether it's McDavid out there, Draisaitl out there, one, the other, both. It doesn't matter. They're a fast team. And the Predators' style of slow them down, grind away, doesn't always work because, unfortunately, if you want to wear them down, you've got to catch them. And we'd seen several games over the past few seasons where that didn't really happen very well. Now, let's talk about the game where they lost in overtime. You know, why were they in overtime? Because the score was tied 2-2. Now, of course, Connor McDavid scored a goal. Let's be realistic. There's not one of those guys on every team out there. He's one of a kind. He's going to do incredible things whenever he's on the ice and has the puck. You can almost guarantee that's going to happen. I felt like it was inevitable the entire time I was watching the game. But he only scored one goal. They kept him from scoring others. That tying goal, the other goal, the goal number 2, the one that tied things up, the reason they went into overtime, that was a double deflection. Now, that's just pure dumb luck. Dude shoots the puck, it bounces off one guy's stick, another guy's skate, it redirects twice. What are you going to do? Saros didn't have a chance at that. And let's be realistic. Saros had a pretty lights-out game aside from that. He was just assaulted with shots, and he handled almost everything except for one McDavid shot in a double redirect. That's what you want to see. UC Saros is the backstop of this team. And I'm sure Mosh has plenty of great things to say about UC Saros, so I'm not going to say too much else. But the reality is, if you want a positive to take out of that game, take away the fact that the Predators did manage to get 1 point out of it, which, considering it's okay. I'll take the 1 point. It's better than no points. And the reality is they played like they should have gotten 2. They only had to go to overtime because of a fluky goal. UC Saros put on a show. He stood on his head. But the brightest side of all, the strategy, the game plan, the identity, the Predators played to it all night long, and it was working. It was working against a fast team like the Edmonton Oilers. And that's a situation where the team hasn't had as much luck in recent years. So here's what I'm going to say. Moving forward, you have to be happy about the way that played out, even if they only got 1 point out of it, because it shows that what they're trying to do is working. It's working against fast teams. It's easy to grind down a team that's also slow. It's easy to grind down a team that's also just okay. It's easy to grind down a team that doesn't have super fast guys on it, but you've got to catch dudes to slow them down. And it seemed like the Predators were able to do enough on the ice and through the neutral zone to try to make that happen. So moving ahead, I think positive things about that game. I think good things are going to come from that game. It's kind of proving that their strategy will work against any team as long as they play to their identity. And that's a lesson that I think the team needed to learn last night. Should have been a case for that. So before I go and send it back over to you, Charlie, here's what I'm going to say. I have been wearing a hat or just using a ton of product in my hair to try to keep it from looking awful. I couldn't get to the barber, but I finally made it. I went and saw my boy Pedro at the Shave Barber Lounge in Murfreesboro over on North Thompson Lane. You got to check him out. Look it up, Shave Barber Lounge. Give him a call. And with that, Charlie, I'm going to send it back to you.
You can find him on Twitter at SCSOTF. He is Sean C. Smith on theforecheck.com. He's a good one. I sure do love that guy, and I sure do love that new haircut, my friend. I got one myself, but I don't have quite the quality of barber. I had to get mine done here at the base. So, appreciate you, Sean C. Smith. Let me go through just a couple of numbers in the box score and just a couple of thoughts, and then we'll go ahead and get on out of here from the bunker. Matt Duchene picks up a goal in this game. Philip Forsberg picks up a goal in this game. So the dynamic duo for the Nashville Predators does pace the dynamic duo for the Edmonton Oilers, and the Nashville Predators find themselves getting a point in this game. Assists are awarded to Philip Forsberg, Mikhail Granlund, Matt Benning, and Alex Carrier. Shots on goal leader for this game is Matt Duchene with 5. Tanner Jeannot had 4. Cunnin also had 4. And Roman Josi had 4. When you take a look in the hits category, very physical night overall for the Nashville Predators. McCarron managed to pile up 7 hits and only 9:37 in time on ice. You also saw Tanner Jeannot with 6 hits, and they were very noticeable. 4 hits for Cunnin, 4 hits for Sissons, and just about everybody across the board had a hit in this game except for Philip Tomasino. But I thought Philip Tomasino's 11:27 of time on ice was utilized very well. He's a good up-and-coming player, and the Nashville Predators are allowing him to develop at a nice, slow pace. At a certain point, rookies do hit the wall in games played and a matter of time on ice. So they're protecting Philip Tomasino, and that's going to allow him, hopefully, to finish out this season strong and be ready to take more minutes and a more bigger role with the team next year. I do think Philip Tomasino is a big part of John Hines' plan and the future. They're just grooming him very slowly. It's something to continue tracking, and it's, of course, something we'll continue talking about. Leading the forwards in time on ice, it's not a surprise whatsoever. Mikhail Granlund, 21-39 in the defense. I want to point out a couple of different times on ice. Of course, the captain of the team almost always leads the team in overall time on ice, 27-14 in this game. But I also want to point out Matthias Ekholm at 24-47 and Alex Carrier, 24-33. Alex Carrier is emerging as a great player for this Nashville Predators team. The reason Ryan Ellis became a tradable asset is because Alex Carrier showed that he could come up and play top defensive pair minutes. 24-33, picks up an assist in this game, also had 2 shots on goal, 3 hits, 2:10 of shorthanded time on ice, and 3:09 of power play time on ice. Alex Carrier is developing right before our very eyes. It is very special to watch. Stripe Digital Solutions. I absolutely love Stripe Digital Solutions, and Stripe Digital Solutions can be found, let me tell you first, stripedigitalsolutions.com. Also, Stripe Digital Solutions, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Stripe Digital Solutions and I were talking back and forth, as we constantly do, and we are constantly thinking about how we can improve the brand, how we can make things better, and I constantly get advice from Stripe Digital Solutions. Coming up at the Home Base Breakout, Stripe Digital Solution is going to be part of a giveaway where we are going to make it possible to give away t-shirts and maybe even some other things with Renegades of Puck logos and some Home Base Freakout logos on it and some cool stuff. So Stripe Digital Solutions is going so far above and beyond. So proud to have given Brandy over at Stripe Digital Solutions a Renegades of Puck jersey. I handed it to her myself, and I also made sure she knew that she had been promoted to assistant captain. I could not do what we do here in the bunker or on Renegades of Puck TV without Stripe Digital Solutions. I encourage each and every one of you, reach out to Brandy. See how Brandy can help you. Stripe Digital Solutions is an incredible company and an incredible partner, just like everyone we work with here at Renegades of Puck. Brian's not going to be on this show today, so we're going to go ahead and finish up and do some final thoughts right here. And something I've wanted to talk to you guys about for a little while. It's been an idea, and I'm just going to go ahead and put it up on the screen right now as I tell you. This is the brand new logo for the Renegades of Puck. As you know, the Renegades of Puck started as a splinter group fighting in the trenches for its independence in the year 2019. We had a different name at the time, and there were some different players as part of the organization. The hockey trench warfare was going very well. We worked extremely hard. We accomplished things that no show has ever accomplished before. But the Renegades of Puck have now become a free and independent hockey state. I am moving forward into a post-hockey trench warfare era, and I would like each and every one of you to come with me. The war is over. There's no reason for us to fight. If you push, if you provoke, if you challenge the Renegades of Puck, we will not only answer the call, we will finish the bell. So don't test us. We are an organization built on peace. We are an organization built on bringing the community together. And now that we have established ourselves as an independent hockey entity and an entertainment organization, no half-stepping means doing business now. So the Renegades of Puck, established 2019, is what you will see from now on. The logo on the wall will always be remembered and always remain as hockey trench warfare, as a reminder of the 10 years that we fought to get what we have here in the bunker. We have it now, Renegades of Puck. What we do with it, that's up to us. We can be a force for positivity across the hockey landscape and the hockey community. I encourage each and every one of you to embrace that. Become no half-stepping in every way, every day, everything that you do. Try to make the lives of the people around you better. Try to make yourself better. We have an opportunity to do something great here in the trenches with the Renegades of Puck, a force for positivity that will one day dominate the hockey landscape in each and every market. We will franchise this operation out and cover each and every team. We will continue to build this thing and become everything that I have visualized. I have ambitions, and I know exactly how to get the job done. With your support and with each and every one of you Renegades of Puck in partnership, we can accomplish anything. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I love every one of you that's ever stood beside me in the trenches. It has meant the world. It's why I'm here today. It's why I will continue to fight for each and every one of you, not just today, not just tomorrow, but for many years to come. The Renegades of Puck, a free, open hockey state. Everyone is welcome. Stick taps. Love. Respect.